From reproductive rights to climate change to big tech, The Independent is on the ground when the story is developing. Whether it's investigating the financials of Elon Musk's pro-Trump PAC or producing our latest documentary, The Word, which shines a light on the American women fighting for reproductive rights, we know how important it is to parse out the facts from the messaging. At such a critical moment in U.S. history, we need reporters on the ground. Your donation allows us to keep sending journalists to speak to both sides of the story. The Independent is trusted by Americans across the entire political spectrum. And unlike many other quality news outlets, we choose not to lock Americans out of our reporting and analysis with paywalls. We believe quality journalism should be available to everyone, paid for by those who can afford it. Your support makes all the difference. Even though Russell Crowe is not in Gladiator 2, director Ridley Scott has revealed that Crowe originally wanted to reprise his role, even if it meant bringing him back from the dead. The sequel to the Oscar-winning 2000 film sees Crowe's on-screen son, Lucius, played by Paul Mescal, enter the Colosseum after Roman emperors Geta and Caracalla, played by Joseph Quinn and Fred Heckinger respectively, conquer his home and force him into slavery. The film also stars Pedro Pascal as General Acacius and Denzel Washington as Macrinus, with the latter touted to be a major awards contender. In a new interview, Ridley Scott explains that Crowe, very badly, wanted to bring back his character Maximus, the Roman general turned Colosseum fighter, who dies at the end of the film. Russell and I had a go at it around 18 years ago, Scott told People magazine. I had Nick Cave writing the script, and I kept saying to Russell, "But you're dead." And he said, "I know I'm dead, and I want to come back from the dead." According to a 2018 report in the BBC, musician Cave was commissioned to write a script that would bring Crowe back. Cave's script would have opened with Maximus in the afterlife, where he meets Roman deities who offer to reunite him with his dead wife and son if he killed the god Hephaestus. However, Maximus is sent back to the world of the living, but 2 decades after his death, where he fights in the Crusades, the World Wars, Vietnam, and then finally ends up in the Pentagon. Understandably, Crowe's reaction was simple and to the point. "Don't like it, mate." Scott explained in the interview that the only other way he could think of was to create a portal to bring him back from the dead. The only way of doing it was to go to another battle and through a dying warrior. He comes back into the spirit of the warrior, Scott said. So that's his portal. However, this approach didn't work for Crowe either, since it would mean a different actor was playing the dying warrior. He said, "So that's no F***ing good. Is it?" It didn't really work. In June, Crowe said he is slightly uncomfortable with the fact they're making another one. "Because, of course, I'm dead, and I have no say in what gets done," he said, going on to explain that he is not a fan of what he has heard of the new film's plot. Watch Apple TV Plus free for 7 days. New subscribers only. £8.99 per MO after free trial. Plan auto-renews until cancelled. Try for free. Watch Apple TV Plus free for 7 days. New subscribers only. £8.99 per MO after free trial. Plan auto-renews until cancelled. Try for free. A couple of the things I've heard, I'm like, no, that's not in the moral journey of that particular character. He said, "But I can't say anything. It's not my place. I'm 6 feet under." So we'll see what that is like. Asked if he had spoken to Crowe about the role, Mescal, 28, said, "I don't know what we would talk about." He continued, "I'd love to hear his stories from filming, but the character is, totally separate." Gladiator 2 debuted to an estimated $87 million at the international box office, making it the biggest overseas opening for any Ridley Scott film. So far, it has received middling critical reviews and currently sits at a lukewarm 75% on Rotten Tomatoes. The Independent's Clarice Lowry labeled it thrilling in her 4-star review, but noted that Mescal is no Crowe. The Independent's Patrick Smith called it an awful mess and questioned what Scott was thinking. "I couldn't help feeling disappointed. Terribly vexed even," he wrote. "Scene by scene, Gladiator 2 just feels undercooked. There's no panache, no bombast, no indelible lines.